Hi there and welcome to another Papetti Math YouTube video tutorial where I'm going to be teaching you, yes you, Algebra 1. And in this video we're going to be looking at exercise number 5 in our lesson on average rate of change. Now if you're just joining us now, I suggest you go back and watch exercises numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4 to catch you up to this point. Otherwise, you're in good shape and we're ready to go. The Bernstein family is taking a trip to Pennsylvania. After 2 hours, they traveled 120 total miles. But at the end of 5 hours, they traveled 210 total miles. What was the average rate of change, or the average rate the Bernstein family was traveling at between hour 2 and hour 5? So let's see what we know and transfer it into some mathematical language. So we know at hour 2, after 2 hours, they traveled 120 total miles. So we have 2 hours for give us 120 miles. We also know that after 5 hours, they traveled 210 total miles. So 5 hours gave us 210 miles. So we have enough information here to find the average rate between hours 2 and 5, because we're going to use our change in y over change in x, which will give us our rate of change. And what we're going to do is our y values change from 120 to 210. So we find the difference there by subtracting. We're going to put that over, we go from 2 to 5, so we find the difference by subtracting again. And we're going to get 90 over 3. All right, so using that information right there, we get 30 as an answer. But now this is a word problem, so we should have word answers. We also have units here. So let's remind ourselves what the units in the numerator were. And the units in the numerator were, well, 210 and 120. 210 miles, 120 miles. So my numerator is going to be miles. Now, what's going to be my denominator? 5 and 2. Let's go back and see what 5 and 2 represented. 5 hours, 2 hours. So these 5 and this 2 represent hours. And this now represents 30 miles per hour. You might also see it as mph, which is more recognizable, but miles over hours is perfectly acceptable as well. So the average rate, or their average speed, is 30 miles per hour. But now in part B, we want to find what was the average rate the Bernstein family was traveling at for the first 5 hours. So this one's different, because in part A, we're just starting at hour 2 and going to hour 5. But this one wants the first 5 hours, including the beginning of the trip. Do we know the beginning of the trip? And the answer is yes, we do, because the beginning of the trip started at time 0. Before the trip started, you're at 0. So if you haven't traveled anywhere yet, how many miles have you traveled? And the answer there is 0. So you're going to start at 0, 0, and you're going to end at, well, we know 5 hours, they traveled 210 miles. So we're going to find our rate of change by finding our change in y over our change in x, which remember is miles over hours. So our answer is going to be in miles per hour. Now we're going to have 210 minus 0 over 5 minus 0. And we're going to get 210 divided by 5. And that's going to give us 42 miles per hour. So if you're looking at hours 2 to 5, and then the whole trip, you might notice that the whole trip's pace or rate or speed was 42 miles per hour, which is greater than 30 miles per hour. So maybe for the first part of the trip, they were cruising, they were driving at a nice rate, and then the next 3 hours maybe slowed down a little. Maybe they hit some traffic, maybe they stopped. We don't know, but we could take notice that the whole trip they were traveling at 42 miles per hour, but those last 3 hours, or from hours 2 to 5, they were traveling a lot slower. So if this video was helpful in helping you find the average rate of change in a real life application problem, give this video a thumbs up to let me know that I helped you out. Now you're ready for exercise number 6. You could click on the link in the video provided. Good luck.